Hey there, you dirty boys and girls. Get ready because we're about to blow the lid off some explosive sex secrets. That's right, today we're stepping into the erotic art, igniting passion and establishing intense connection with your partner. Are you game for a journey that's gonna leave you hot and sweaty? Good, because we're about to go Playboy style. In all seriousness, today I'm gonna share with you 7 ways to have the most phenomenal sex that will transform your sex life in a way that leads your partner wanting more and more and more. Step number 1, you got to prioritize the passion. Look, we live in a whirlwind of priorities and in a fast-paced society that often demands our attention. And as a result, intimacy can often take a back seat. Phenomenal sex, it requires time and effort. You have to make it a priority in your life. So allocate some special moments where you can exclusively focus on your partner without the distractions of the outside world. It's about cultivating this space where you can be present, where you can delve into each other's desires and fantasies. And when you channel the time into your sexual connection, you can get some extraordinary results. If you're deliberately arranging time and space, such as a date night or an intimate weekend where you can just get away and leave the outside world at your doorstep, place where you can just focus solely on each other. During these dedicated moments, you want to switch off your phone. You want to create a sacred bubble where intimacy can just thrive. This will allow you to fully immerse yourself in the experience and curate an environment that's conducive to phenomenal sex. But remember, quality time paves the way for quality connection, and quality connection creates quality sex. Now, I know what you're thinking. You don't want to schedule sex. Listen, spontaneous sex, well, it's a little bit of an old wives' tale. Sure. Maybe when you were first dating, you couldn't keep your hands off each other. But today, there's kids, there's mortgage, there's taxes, and all kinds of distractions. There's nothing wrong with scheduling sex. In fact, scheduling sex can actually heighten the experience because you know it's going to happen. But also make sure that you're working to have sex outside the scheduled times. I mean, you don't want it to be boring or rigid or the same over and over again. What I like to do is use what I call the ABF rule, which is ABF, it stands for always be flirting. That means when we're consistently making our sex life a priority with our partner, then our connection increases, and our connection should be fun. But if you're too busy or distracted, or you fall too easily into the habits of being too tired, putting things off for too long, well, maybe it's time to take a look at prioritizing the passion. Hey guys, I want to interrupt real quick and remind you to like and subscribe to this video and my channel, because this helps the algorithm, it helps other people find the channel, and it just makes things better for everybody. So it only takes a second, click it, boom, boom. Okay, back to the video. The second part is the sanctity of your space. You want to craft a sacred space for your sexual encounters. It's a vital part of connection. You want to clean all the clutter. You want to dim the lights. You want to set the mood with soft light and candles. You want to make your environment inviting and comfortable, a place where you both feel secure and happy, and you want to express yourselves sexually in this space. Seriously, guys, I know that sometimes we're just happy to be having sex, but if we're just distracted by the piles of laundry and pizza boxes that are on the floor and overflowing trash cans, it's not going to be a place conducive to sex. And listen, the ladies are going to notice. It's all about preparation. You want to make your bedroom a place of sanctity. Seriously, make sure your bedroom looks like a 5-star hotel. You want to make it a place where you want to hang out, because the more you're hanging out in your bedroom, the chances of you having more and better sex is going to increase. I know a lot of people will make the bedroom sort of the last priority in the house, and oftentimes it becomes sort of a catch-all for clutter. But trust me, your bedroom should be sacred. It should feel inviting. It should feel comfortable, and a place that you want to go to because you want to go there and play around. Now, all it takes is cleaning up and adding some sensory elements, such as soft, clean sheets, cozy blankets, nice plush pillows. These can create a sense of luxury of your space. You want to experiment with different lighting options. Find out what feels most sensual to you. Utilize senses that invoke desire and create relaxation, such as jasmine or sandalwood. And for the love of God, man, take a shower and groom yourself. Pay attention to the ambience that you're creating in your sacred space. You want to eliminate the distractions and foster an atmosphere that encourages vulnerability and connection. Remember this space? It's your sanctuary. It's for you. It's for you and your partner to explore and express yourselves in the most exotic and intimate ways. Step 3, the power of provocative language. Look, provocative language or dirty talk can be an incredibly arousing and stimulating way to communicate your desires and your fantasies to your partner. You want to let them know that you are desirous of them and that you want to have sex, because they should know you want to have sex because, well, you do. So experiment with the words that may arouse passions. Discover what resonates with you and your partner as well. Make it adventurous. Sort of explore the language, specific words that excite you. Like some people like explicit and direct language, while other people like more poetic and sensual descriptions. It's all about discovering what works for you and your partner. The key to successful provocative language is open communication. You want to discuss your boundaries and your comfort level with your partner before you engage in this type of communication. For example, she might not want your dick pic sent to her work address. The point is, form a safe space where you can both express your desires and fantasies without judgment, because it's essential not to feel shame around our sexuality. So never shame your partner around the language that they use. If it's not your thing, just tell them it's not your thing, but don't shame. And remember, provocative language is a tool for building anticipation. It's something you can use throughout the day to tantalize each other. You want to send suggestive messages or leave notes or just sort of hint about what's to come. The point is, be playful, because what you want to do is you want to build up the anticipation. Now, speaking of anticipation, that's step number 4, the science of anticipation. Anticipation is a key element in creating explosive sexual experiences. It amplifies pleasure and excitement. Scientifically speaking, the thrill of anticipation stimulates our brains and in the pleasure centers. The expectation of sex actually triggers the release of dopamine, the neurotransmitter that's responsible for that feeling of pleasure and reward. So when we anticipate intimate motions, our brains actually get flooded with this feel-good neurochemical, and that enhances the excitement and increases the overall satisfaction. Now, one of the ways you can harness this neurochemical reaction is through sensory exploration. Things like blindfolding your partner or taking turns introducing different textures or objects that can stimulate the senses. When you're anticipating the unknown, it can lead to a surge of dopamine increase. But also plan and discuss your desires and your fantasies in advance. You don't want to just attack your partner, tie her down, and hope that she enjoys it. Instead, you want to share your secret desires with each other and brainstorm ways that you can fulfill your fantasies and desires. But knowing that a erotic event is on the horizon can enhance the overall experience. And one of the techniques that you can use to do this is also create sexual rituals. So no, this can involve things like bathing together, a sensual massage, or interacting in shared fantasies. Rituals not only increase the anticipation, but they also reinforce that positive loop in our brain that's associated with the rituals. And we think about the pleasure that's supposed to come, and then it heightens that dopamine response. So in this way, the science of anticipation is more than just a psychological. It's very much a biological, chemical, neurological. By understanding it and harnessing it, you can elevate your sexual connection, because sex is a pleasure that we feel in our body, but it does start in our brain. Step 5 is fostering a safe space. You want to foster a place of safety with your partner. When you establish clear boundaries and consent, and you both understand and feel comfortable about desire and the limitations, then you create trust, which is the bedrock of creating safe space. So you want to discuss your boundaries and your preferences and any concerns that you might have with your partner beforehand, and also be receptive to your partner's needs and their boundaries as well. Consent is an ongoing process, so we got to continuously check in with our partner respect their verbal and nonverbal cues so that we're creating a place of safety and foster a place where both you and your partner feel valued, respected, and safe. Feeling safe also includes being able to share your sexual fantasies without feeling shamed or feeling disgust by your partner. So if you share something with your partner, like, I don't know, you like to have pickles in your mouth or something, and it's not your thing, just say it's not your thing. Because if your partner doesn't feel safe about sharing the darker sides of their fantasies, then you're really limiting the kind of intimacy that you can have. So safe space where you can both explore, talk about your fantasies, your fetishes, and the taboos, because these are the things that create more intimacy, more safety, and more pleasure. But you have to talk about them first. And in order to talk about them, you got to feel safe. All right. Step 6, the rhythm of passion. Slow and sensual, fast and fierce. Sex is a journey. Take your time with it. Savor every journey. Savor every moment. Concentrate on the touch. Escalate the intensity over a period of time. Gradually increase the pace so that the passion starts to ignite. You want to alternate between slow and fast. You want to work on keeping the thrill alive. And sometimes doing things that are explosive. This is why deliberate movements can be very arousing. If you explore each other's body with gentle touch and teasing and building anticipation, that's one way to focus on the erogenous zones. So take your time and really relish the sensations that you feel in your body. In other words, slow down. You don't want to just focus on the sexual organ, but focus on the central feelings you feel throughout your body. The touch, the caress, the slowness, massage or build up. Use the slow build up because it can lead to a really phenomenal orgasm. Once anticipation is peaked, embrace the faster tempo, but let go of the inhibitions. Surrender to the moment. You want to experiment with different rhythms and intensities and just be in the moment. The fast, the slow can really increase your overall sexual experience. And remember that preferences vary from person to person. So make sure you're paying attention to the body language, the verbal feedback, the sounds of pleasure, the speeds, so that you can get what speeds and intensities work for you and your partner. Step 7, physical, emotional, and spiritual connection. So phenomenal sex is more than just about physical pleasure. It's about a multi-dimensional connection. You want to engage in depth. One of the ways to do this is by creating eye contact. One of the things that eye contact does is it triggers the release of oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone that increases intimacy and the feeling of connection. So during sex, if you create this sense of connection through creating eye contact, what will happen is you communicate this deep understanding and a longing for one another. It's super, super exciting. And you want to do this during orgasm because orgasm is another way that we tend to have the most, the release of the oxytocin and that chemical of dopamine. And when we're creating eye contact during orgasm, we have an amazing connection. Another way to create connection is sharing your thoughts, your fears, and your vulnerabilities. By sharing these things, it can really strengthen your bond. And this emotional connection can lead to more than just sexual encounters, but a feeling of well-being and connectedness throughout the day, even when you're not together. Sex can also be a spiritual experience. When you're connecting with each other, you can also connect with the universe. If you lose yourself in the divine energy that sort of courses through both of you and understand that you're connecting beyond just the physical and emotional realm, this can be mind-blowing. When we practice this, we're getting out of our minds, out of our body, and just into our spirit. So we're not thinking, we're not, fantasizing. We are just fully present, fully connected to our partner, and fully connected to the universe. And this is going to create an amazing orgasm. And this is all about what tantric sex is all about. So you want to get out of your head and get into your spirit and let your senses take over so that you can just connect to your partner at a higher level and in a higher frequency than just the physical, emotional part of sex. So wrap it all up here. Creating phenomenal sex is about building deep connection. It's about nurturing a safe space, fostering a passionate atmosphere, and it involves cultivating the anticipation by playing with language and creating that sacred environment. It's the place where you can harness the rhythm of the passions and explore every dimension, the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, to create a truly extraordinary sexual experience. So take your time, explore, and remember, the journey to phenomenal sex is just as enjoyable as the destination. So get at it, because phenomenal sex will change your life.